Howdy, folks. Welcome to Kelvin Vollrath's Fiddle Jubilee. My name is Walter Brennan, and I'm really delighted to be here with you today. Now sit back and enjoy some great music by Canada's fiddling sensation, Kelvin Vollrath, and his special guests as they gather virtually to entertain you. Now put your hands together and welcome Mr. Kelvin Vollrath. Take it away, Kelvin.
And welcome to episode number 3 of my Fiddle Jubilee. I've had so much fun doing 1 and 2, and thank you so much for the nice comments, and a few of you have sent some generous donations. Much appreciated. It's keeping me going on here. Today we have a great show lined up, wonderful guests. I have Daniel Gervais, who's originally from St. Paul, Alberta, now living in Edmonton. He's a 2-time Canadian Grandmaster Fiddle Champion. He's going to be with us. And we have, I just know he's going to be a future Canadian Grandmaster Fiddle Champion, young Max Francis from Victoria, British Columbia. Wait till you see this young fella play. But first, let me tell you about that first tune that I just played. It's a tune called Real Le Blé d'Or. And Le Blé d'Or, it's a French term. I'm not exactly sure what it means, golden wheat or something. But here in St. Paul, where I live, for 40 years, there was a French-Canadian dance group called Le Blé d'Or. My wife, Rhea, she danced in that group. And then she taught for them for many, many years. And so I wrote them a French-Canadian sounding tune, a few years ago. Anyways, after 40 years, that group disbanded. They traveled around the world dancing, and a lovely, lovely group. And this was a tune that I wrote for them called Real Le Blé d'Or. And now it's time to introduce my very first guest, and Mr. Daniel Gervais. Like I say, what a great... I've known him since he was just a young lad when I moved here to St. Paul back in 1998. He'd come to my place for the odd lesson, and we've just been friends. He now plays in my band, Country Swing, in Edmonton. We play once a month, and we've done so much together. I've had him play at my many of my CD release concerts. We're going to play a tune that I composed for a good buddy of mine. I met him in Shetland. His name is Roddy Matthews. He actually comes from England. But when I went to go play in Shetland, the first time was in 2001. He had lots of friends up there. He came up, and I remember we did 4 shows on that trip. He was there at every one of those shows. And at the end of the night, when the sound company was tearing down all the equipment, he was there helping out. He was firing stuff out to the truck and bringing stuff in and just running for whatever anybody needed him. And I nicknamed him Roddy the Roadie. And he loved all music. I remember he loved the swing stuff as well. So this is a swing tune for him called Roddy the Roadie. Everybody, welcome Daniel Gervais. Thank you so much, Daniel. That was a lot of fun. You're a swinging cat, you are. Hey, everybody. I now want to introduce you to guest number 2, Max Francis. What a talent this young guy is. I met him doing a workshop in Victoria, BC a few years ago, and I've got to know him more. You know, with this pandemic that we've been going through, Camp Calvin, well, it moved to be an online camp on Zoom. And this is where I really got to know Max. He attended, we've done 4 of them, and he's been at all of those camps, and he's taken fiddle, and he's taken guitar, and he's taken piano. He's taken all the classes, and I see him now on Facebook and YouTube playing all kinds of stuff. The hardest tunes possible. He's doing them all and taking lessons and being inspired by so many. So I'm so thrilled that he's agreed to join me here on the Fiddle Jubilee. We're going to play a tune that I wrote many, many years ago. And, you know, like I grew up playing the old-time music, foxtrots, waltzes, jigs, reels, and playing for the dances. We'd play lots of shawteeses. And in Eastern Canada, I'm not sure they have shawteeses too much, but they play clogs, which are similar to our shawteeses. And anyways, I wrote this tune that kind of reminds me of a clog or a shawteese, but not really sure if it's a clog. Anyways, I called this Unclogged. Everybody put your hands together for Max Francis. That was terrific. What a future you're going to have in this music business, making people happy. I know you've made me happy, and lots of others. Hey, on to the next tune. Back in 1996, I taught at the very first fiddle camp held by the Canadian Grandmasters Fiddlers Association, and it was in Ottawa, and I think it was called By the Canal Camp. It was alongside the Rideau Canal. Anyways, I wrote a tune in a composer's workshop in honor of the Canadian Grandmasters Fiddle Championships. This is called the Canadian Grandmasters Waltz. Here we go.
heard Calvin in about probably 1997, the Grand North American Old Time Fiddle Championship. And really, he inspired me to be a fiddler, to really delve deeper, as I was a youngster at the time, and really to delve deeper into the fiddle. And so I wouldn't put the fiddle down after that. And so it just really inspired me. And then over the years, I take some private lessons at his house, just a few, and then go to Emma Lake Fiddle Camp. I was often in his camp. I recorded then later some of my first albums in his studio. And just learned all those tunes. Like, I just love all the tunes. I would save up my money and go and buy a cassette at Weasel's Confectionery, his brother-in-law's store at the time, or eventually CDs, and like learn all the tunes, and I just wear out those cassettes, learn all those tunes, stop, rewind, and through all of that work, I mean, it's really helped make me the musician that I am today, and I still do that. Still, I'm helping do the transcriptions, but I'll still learn all the tunes pretty much, and so Calvin's one of my biggest mentors and fiddle heroes, musical heroes. And so one of the tunes that we're going to play for you in this collaboration is called Alton Craig, a jig that I learned from Emma Lake Camp years ago, and then I later played it at his annual CD release in Sherwood Park at the festival place, and I was delighted to be a part of that those CD releases over the years. I remember that year I had a cast. So I could still play, but the cast went up to the forearm there. So it's a very memorable year for several reasons. But I could still play. I played Alton Craig and some other things. But anyways, enjoy.
Daniel, superb. I know Alton would have just absolutely loved that. He was such a great guy, and he's dearly missed. You know, some of the comments that I get from the people in the last couple of episodes, they say they're really enjoying the show, but they go, it's just a little too short, Calvin. So, going to do something a little bit different here in episode number 3. And you know, I've got lots of videos from a long time ago that I've been posting up on YouTube and various places. And I'm going to go back and see if I can dig up some gems from years ago. And right now I'm going to share a video with you that was recorded in 2002 at my 10th annual CD release concert, which was held at Festival Place in Sherwood Park. Hey, old Cal was dressed up, had black hair and everything, dressed up in a tuxedo for the big occasion. And when I was growing up, I was just a kid. You've heard me talk about this before, but my dad, Art Lefty Vollrath, he played the fiddle, and his brother-in-law, Louis Jacobson, played the accordion, and Dad's brother, Floyd, played the rhythm guitar. And well, Uncle Floyd had passed away, and my dad passed away in 1988, and Uncle Louis was the only one left. And that was the music that I grew up with, fiddle, guitar, and accordion, and it was all instrumental. And Uncle Louis plays with so much feel. He hadn't played in a long time, but I called him up. He was 80, I think he was 84, just about to turn 85. He said he hadn't played the accordion in 5 or 6 years, and I said, I got a big concert, I want you to come and play accordion at it. Uncle Louis came out, brought his accordion, and we sat down on stage unrehearsed, and this is what happened.
Everybody put your hands together for Uncle Louis Jacobson.
Easier to get it from zero.
Kelly's Tavern. God, that was fun. I can remember that. So, yes, please.
I'm so grateful to be part of Calvin Vollrath Fiddle Jubilee. It is such a thrill and honor. Calvin has an amazing fiddle style, and to be able to play music with him has always been my dream. I first met Calvin when I was 7 years old, and Calvin was an instructor at Yvonne Hernandez Victoria BC Trad Weekend in 2019. I really admired his music, and since then, I couldn't stop watching and listening to all his videos and recordings that I can get my hands on. Then I started to learn some of his tunes, such as Flying the Pudding, The Creeping Métis, and many more. Calvin's music has inspired so many young musicians from across Canada and around the world. I really love how his playing has the lilt and bounce that will make people dance right away. That is so special. He has also written so many great tunes, and that has inspired me to write some of my own fiddle tunes too. Calvin has encouraged many young musicians and provided opportunities for players of all ages and abilities to learn to play the fiddle. In 2020, when COVID-19 came, Calvin's Fiddle Camp, Camp Calvin, went online, which gave people from across Canada and around the world a chance to learn music together. Then I was really excited to join Camp Calvin. So one of my favorite tunes I learned from Camp Calvin was Lucky Lucas Reel, which is a tune that Calvin wrote for his grandson Lucas. This tune will make your heart happy and get your feet tapping right away. This tune is so fun to play. So now here we go, Lucky Lucas Reel!
But what a thrill to have my two guests with me today. Please put your hands together one more time for Mr. Daniel Gervais and Mr. Max Francis. Hey, the future of Canadian fiddling right there. Thank you so much. The pandemic, you've heard me say this before, it made all us musicians kind of do things a little bit different, and we have found new ways. We couldn't be out performing, so I've learned some video editing, and I've been doing online workshops, and things are starting to open up now. We're hoping to get out and do a tour this fall. If you would be interested in having Old Cal come to your community to perform, please send me an email. Talk to a local group there in town. We would need a group in town, a committee to host something, and I'm sure it'd be something everybody could afford. If I could set up a little tour in your area, play a town here, a town there, each night, we could make it work and not too expensive for everybody. We'd have all kinds of fun. And here with this Fiddle Jubilee that I'm doing, it's a labor of love, I'll tell you that. But it takes lots of work to videotape and just the whole thing, the editing and all that. And so if you are enjoying my little YouTube TV show here, and if you have the ability to donate any dollars to Old Cal here to help out, that would be greatly appreciated. I know that's not for everybody. If you can't afford it, completely understand. The show is free for you, but if you can't afford it, think of it like a ticket to go into a show. And I want to do this every month. There's so many fiddle guests that have agreed to be on this with me, and we got all kinds of music to play. Send in your cards and letters. Send us emails to calvinvollrath@gmail.com. And if you wanted to send a donation, same thing, calvinvollrath@gmail.com on e-transfer or PayPal. All the information's on your screen there right now to do it. Thank you so kindly for those of you that have done this in the past to help out, and I really do appreciate that. We're going to move on to the last tune here right now of the show. And the first tune was about a dance group in St. Paul called Les Blés d'Or. Well, the last tune is about another dance group in St. Paul called Les Tourbillons. Les Tourbillons was my wife Rhea. Well, not her. It was her mom and dad, Clarence and Simone, and all their friends and aunts and uncles, relatives and friends. And in their retirement years, they put a group together, called it Les Tourbillons, which I believe in English is something about the whirlwind. So they're always spinning. They had beautiful costumes, and they traveled all over Western Canada. If they heard there was a dance in Manitoba, they'd hop in a couple of vehicles. There was 10 or 12 of them, and away they'd go. They'd go to Manitoba, they'd go to Saskatchewan, and all over Alberta, and they performed. They did lots of performances, and if it wasn't a performance, it was just a dance that they could go dance. They were there. What delightful people and what a delightful crowd. Great, great dancers. I wrote them a jig number, called it Les Tourbillons. Here we go.
By golly, folks, well, that was a great show, Calvin. Reminded me of the good old days right there. Hey, friends and neighbors, do us a favor and click on that subscribe button on Calvin's YouTube channel, and then you'll get notified when the next episode gets released. Because I know you ain't going to want to miss any. And don't forget to tell all your friends about the show. Well, that's it for now, folks. Until next month, take care, stay safe, and have a good day. See you at the next Calvin Vollrath Fiddle Jubilee. Yee Haw!